I also think that it's important that we develop renewable energy academies in our schools so that we can develop our next workforce. 30 seconds. As a matter of fact, I'm proud to say as a school board member for the Coachella Valley Unified School District, we implemented vocational education programs in healthcare as well as teaching, but we're going to move forward a renewable energy academy in which we can train those students to work with businesses that are in renewable energy so that when they're out of high school, they have a job. I want to thank you for that.
Mr. Gonzales, we have question number 15, and it reads, do you believe in future water transfers, and how will you address the economic impact from water transfers?
I think we have to be very careful about how we protect our water. You know, it's one of my campaign issues. It's probably the most salient, one of the most salient of my campaign issues. It is protection of our water rights for the Imperial Valley. You know, I've spent a lot of time campaigning here and in the Coachella Valley, but particularly here. And I can tell you, walking around door to door, knocking on people's doors and talking to folks, what I've heard more and more, I tell them my issue is jobs, education, healthcare, water rights. And it's the water rights that actually resonates across the board. People understand the importance water rights to the Imperial Valley. It's the lifeblood of the Imperial Valley. It's what drives our economic engine of the Imperial Valley to this day. The agricultural community, the agricultural impact. That's what people talk about. So when you talk about water transfers, we need to be careful that we don't give away too much of our water. We need to be careful that we stay within our means, that we work within our means, because as you know, the state puts allocations on us, as you have to abide by certain allocations of water. We have to abide by those allocations, or they will take the water away. So we have to be careful about how we use, how we conserve our water. So what I think is what we have to do is we have to look to ways to be more, to conserve water better, to recycle water, to make sure our canals are lined. We need to look to the state government for support for those types of activities, because water truly is important. As to the impact of water transfers, certainly, it's going to have an impact, and we need to look at ways to address those impacts through economic development. I'm a big proponent of tax incentives. I think we ought to do tax incentives for not just job creation, but for impacts, and not just tax credits, but also direct funding. And these funding mechanisms are already taking place with regard to water transfers, and I support them.
Thank you, Dennis. This concludes the both introduction and presentation and answer our questions for the Assembly District. And we'll start with Mr. Gonzales. You have a 2-minute closing statement. And we'll start now.
Thank you, everybody, once again, for showing up and for being here. This is an important election. We have, for the first time in a long time, a true opportunity to elect somebody from the Imperial County to represent us at the state level. I think this is a truly important election, and we do have I won't say once in a lifetime opportunity, but something that hasn't happened in quite some time. For those of you who don't know my background, I spent 10 years in Washington, D.C. I worked in government and politics for 10 years. I worked on Capitol Hill for 4 years for 2 different members of Congress. I worked at the White House for a year and a half. I was Deputy Director of Legislative Affairs for the Vice President of the United States, Al Gore. I have a history, our family has a history of community and public service. My father, most of you know, spent 18 years on the elementary school board here in Raleigh. My aunt, Gloria Santillan, also spent time on the Raleigh Union High School board. I spent 10 years in Washington working on legislation to help people to give back to our communities. That's why I'm running for the state assembly. And again, I'd like to mention I have support from the majority of the city councils from throughout the Imperial Valley, including the majority of the city councils from Calexico, Central, Raleigh, mayors of Imperial, Calapac, IID board members. I also have support from the 3 members of the Coachella Valley School Board, as well as Romano, just stepped down as mayor of Palm Springs. So we have support from elected officials, more local elected official support than any other candidate throughout the 18th Assembly District. I'd like to ask for your support. I need your support. I need your help. Together we can make this happen. Thank you very much.
First of all, I want to thank you for this opportunity. I think these spaces of democracy are very, very important because this is really how you identify what we're about and you make up your own mind. I think the candidates that are running are great candidates. We've got good folks that are running, and we will make this a Democratic seat with your support. Obviously, I'm working hard to garner your support. I'm also walking streets on a daily basis and calling folks on a daily basis. And I have support here across the board. I have support from the California Teachers Association because I believe in quality education, as well as the California School Employees Association. I have the support of the nurses, the California Nurses Association, as well as the California Medical Association because I believe in universal health care and because of my background in health care. I also have the support of the grassroots folks. I have support of Victor Carrillo, who is the only Democrat supervisor in both counties, as well as Tony Hildalgo, who is the chairperson or president of the Democratic Central Committee. I also have support of different local policymakers like George Navarro here in Raleigh, and as well support from Eduardo Garcia, Steve Canidates, and other folks from the Coachella Unified School District as well. There are many people who are supporting us. We'll go ahead and talk to you about our endorsement. There are many. But at the end of the day, what really counts is you. At the end of the day, you are the people that are going to make the decision. It is important that we build policy from the ground up. And that's my promise to you. As an organizer, I work on both sides of the aisle in my past to craft policies that reflective of our needs. I know what it's like to negotiate. I know what it takes. And I believe in mutual responsibility, and I believe in justice, and I believe in fairness, and I believe in equality and opportunity. But with you, we can make this happen. I have a pedagogy of hope, if you will. I believe that we can make that change. But we need to work together to make that change. I ask you for your support. I ask you to vote for Manuel Perez for the Canidates District, and let's make this a blue seat. Thank you very much.
Thank you, gentlemen, and good luck.